that. Okay. So, did anybody feel the shifts in energy today after the solstice? Solstice was pretty expansive over the weekend, and last night I finally felt like I could move through life without having to take a nap. So it was pretty powerful this weekend. I hope you got an opportunity to receive some of the beautiful shifts in energy. Okay, another breath. Okay, so today is Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020. It is almost 7 p.m. Let me check to see if anybody else has got there. Nope, we're good. It's almost 7 p.m. Hang on just 1 second. Sorry about that. There we go. It's now 7, so we'll go ahead and start. It's 7 p.m. on Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020. It is the day after the winter solstice. For me, winter solstice, and actually the period between 12/12 and 12/21 are some of the most powerful times of the year for me. This is the changing of being in the dark and moving into the light as as the days continue and they start to bring a little bit more light in. It's for the last, I think it really started noticing it in 2011 when we were moving into 2012. If you remember, there was a lot of interest and talk and discussion about the Mayan calendar ending and what was going to happen and that kind of stuff. And that's really when I started to key in to the energy now. So it's always an interesting period for me, a period of growth and in the darkness, you know, in the winter, it's always a period of introspection for me. So this year, like everything else about this year, has been especially intense and beautiful, expansive and gorgeous and challenging and extended awareness and deepened my spiritual practices. But this past, so what does it make it, like for now 9 days have been so clarifying, I guess is the word that's coming in for me. And I hope they have been for you. I know it's challenging, but hopefully you can take a breath now, that things will start to ease up. I know a lot of people are saying that we're entering into, or we are in the age of Aquarius. I'm not an astrology person. It doesn't always connect with me. It doesn't stay in my brain, some of the different astrology information, but that one I do hear. So ideally, after some upheaval in our world, we're entering into a time of peace. So let's set that intention to bring that peace into us, up from the earth into us, and then express that out to the world. So, breathe in peace and breathe out tension. So we're going to do that a couple times. And if peace has a color for you, you know I love to work with the colors. So if peace has a color for you, just practice that. We're not ready to go into the full meditation. I just want to bring this in for now. The breath work has been so powerful lately. So breathe in peace and breathe out tension. Breathe out internal strife. Breathe out constriction and conflict and confusion. Let it all go out of your body. Find yourself in this safe container that we create here. settle in and see what you get out of today's refill and information. So that was kind of the pre-game show to get us ready. So this is number 9 of 10. Crazy that we've done this for 9 weeks now. And I appreciate you being here. And anything that you get out of it, I'd love to hear from you. If anybody feels like they want to write a little information or a little reference or referral or a comment about it, that would be beautiful. Kathleen, can you mute yourself? Your microphone. Yeah, your microphone's on. There, thank you. There we go. So, yeah, week 9 of 10. Think about where you were 9 weeks ago and think about how you looked at things or how you moved through the world. And just for your own sake, see what shifted and changed. You know, whether it was from the refill, whether it was from any personal work that you've done, just look at where you were and where you are now, and maybe set an intention about where you want to be 10 weeks from now, and 6 months from now, and this is such a beautiful time for that intention setting. I always, somebody shared with me a few years ago that you want to do on New Year's Day things that you want to do the rest of the year. So some years I've worked on New Year's Day to make money. So I want to make money through the rest of the year. Some years I've gone to the beach because that is my happy place. This year I get to do some, local traveling, but get to go away with some a beautiful friend of mine to the beach. We're gifted a nice weekend at the beach, so I'll be celebrating the new year there and feel very fortunate. And that's something I definitely want to continue throughout the year. So think about that. And I don't know if I shared it last week, but I also received another gift of information from another beautiful spiritual sister about doing the burning of intentions, burning of, in a fire pit, or creating a bowl that you can burn from, writing out your things you want to release, things you want to bring in. And then the third thing was promises that you make to yourself, commitments that you make to yourself. I do have to admit that, I wrote some out and I haven't always fulfilled it yet, but at least I think about it. I think about moving every day. I think about refilling every day. I think about meditating every day. And I'm pretty good at especially the last two things, the refilling and meditating. But just like we've changed from the first week that we did this to now because of the refilling and because of the work that you've done, every time I revisit those commitments, it comes with an awareness of the increase of self-love, not the beating myself up because I didn't do it. So every time I do it, it's another act of self-love. So check your mindset, check your inner dialogue when you look at those things. Are you hard on yourself? Are you judging yourself? Are you in flow and grace and ease and joy and love with yourself? Knowing that whatever you're doing is the best you're able to access in that moment. And the next moment is going to be a little bit more. It's all depending on, what you've experienced, what's going on in your life, where you are mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. So give yourself a little grace and know that maybe your version or vision of perfect isn't exactly in alignment with who you are, and make little adjustments to that. Honor who you are now. Okay, so another breath. Every time you take a breath, and you have an awareness of that breath, you're bringing yourself a little more into centeredness, a little more into alignment with your authentic self. When you come into alignment, even if it's a little bit more than you were the moment before, you're allowing even more chi, life force, energy to come in, so that you get to do that. I mean, we have an automatic refilling process, but in order to be in the flow of that automatic refilling process, we have to be able to release what we're holding on to, whether it's just the energy that we have. Sometimes we hold on a little too tight because we're afraid we're not going to get more. We do a little bit of energetic hoarding. So trust that there will always be more. So release what you're holding on to. And the visualization I use for that is almost like water pouring out of my feet into the ground. So release what you're holding on to. And then visualize your crown chakra opening up, and even more white light, golden light, energy, whatever color, however you want it to look like, even water coming in your crown and refilling you. And that's initiates or activates that automatic refilling. There's a picture that I love, and I'll try to put it on the YouTube channel or send it to you. And it's a kind of an image, a drawing of what the flow of energy into ourselves looks like. And it's got two examples. One is in fear and one is love. And the energy flow in fear only comes into like the midline, the trunk of the body, maybe from under heart to the tops of the thighs. And that's basically to keep us functioning, to keep us in survival mode. So we still take in energy, but it's very limited. Even when we're in fear, we're out of alignment. But when we're in a space of expansion and love, we take in energy in every aspect of us, from over our crown to under our feet, and it automatically creates this beautiful sacred geometry. It's called a torus, T-O-R-U-S. So if you look up that, you see this, like we're in the center of a donut. We're in the hole of the donut, and this energy just flows in and out of us, like this. I don't even know how to describe it. Just an awesome. Let me see if I can get the words. Hang on. It's an awesome display of what we're capable of and what's available to us. So if you want to write that down, T-O-R-U-S. And this image that I have is of a small torus in the space of fear. So we're still getting fed, but it's not certainly to the fullness that we can. And then moving into that space of love. And every place on the spectrum between fear and love, we get access to a little bit more. So we want to make sure that you can continue this refilling on your own. And that's through exploring love, what love looks like, and what's preventing you from feeling love, and what's taking you out of that flow. So, and for me, that's been, 20 some years of healing work. And I definitely am still in process. And I think we all are, as long as we're in these human bodies. I was in a meditation recently. I had a beautiful experience to go doing a crystal grid exercise and to connect with some greater information. And I could call in, I don't know if I shared this last time, I apologize if I'm repeating. I could call in an aspect from an ancestor that I wanted to receive. And I wanted to receive the awareness of 100% complete unconditional love. But when I was able to increase the amount that I had for myself, but when I asked about the totality of it, what I was told was, in these human bodies, there's no way to be 100% unconditional love. That there's, between the reptilian brain and the ego and the things that keep us in survival, keep these bodies moving, are in somehow counter to that 100% of unconditional love. And to access that, we had to ascend. Wow, we're going to go deep here. To access that, we had to ascend. And, it's not time for that. We're still in training. We're still learning how to navigate through these bodies. So know that there's always going to be a little challenge, a little piece. And one of the intentions I set about that years ago is that the time between the trigger, it's usually somebody else's behavior that's triggering me, but the time between the trigger and my really full and complete awareness of the trigger be decreased to a nanosecond. Now it's can anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 or 3 days. But it's a lot better than the weeks and months and years that it was in the past. So every time I heal something, then that time period between the trigger and my awareness, I'm striving to move out of reaction and come into response and awareness from a place of unconditional love of self and for the object or person that's triggering me. So that's a lot. Take whatever you can take from that. Put the rest aside, put it away until it's the right time. And we're now going to take a few minutes and do a little Reiki. So I'm going to lead you in a little bit of a meditation, and then we'll refill you with Reiki. So find yourself a comfortable spot. Lean back. Relax. Thank you for being here in this sacred circle, in this safe container. If you're watching this, you're a gift to me, and I appreciate you very much. And thank you for receiving the gift that I offer to you. Okay. So take a nice big breath. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Crunch everything up. And then release. See if you can get your neck to move around. Everybody's stuff that you've been holding on to from today, whether you're interacting with people or dealing with family or watching TV or whatever your day looks like, we're going to set the intention that we send everybody's stuff that's not yours, that you no longer need, we're going to send it back to them. It's not your job to process people's life lessons for them. You are not responsible for everybody else's teachings, for everybody else's pain. So in this space, just release all of that. Know that this is for you. It's not about who else is on the call. It's not about me. It's not about anybody else in your home or anybody that's poking at your energy, wanting a little piece of you. This is all for you. And just breathe that in and see how that feels in your body. See if there's challenges to that need to be addressed later. See if there's flow and ease, if you're able to allow that. Let your stomach muscles relax. Release the tension of the day. We've been in this beautiful place of transition. If you're here, you've navigated through the challenges beautifully. There we go. And just know that you have 100% success rate of coming through. It may not always be pretty, it may not always be what you want, but you've survived and you're here. So just breathe that in. Maybe even say that to yourself. I have survived and I am here. I'm ready to thrive. I'm able to thrive. I'm ready to know how to get the most joy out of life. So every one of those, just breathe them in. So do you know that when you repeat an affirmation or a new belief, when you're in a meditative space, it only takes 1 or 2 times of repetition to create that new neural pathway. If you're doing affirmations when you're out in the world or in your home, but not in a meditative state or in the theta brainwave state, then it can take up to 50 to 60 times of repetition. I am all about efficiency. So meditation, relaxation, releasing all the stuff in your brain and in your body that's not yours. And you find that out by saying, is this mine or somebody else's? And when you ask that, you allow the energy to start moving back where it belongs. It's a beautiful tool from Access Consciousness, which is a modality you can look at. So again, breathing. The breath is part of our life force. And I know for some people, it's hard to get a full breath. Just take whatever you can. Don't try to force it. See if you can feel it move around your body. Allow it to move around your head, unwinding anything that's ready to be unstuck. Any beliefs, any pathways, any blockages or any trauma that's ready to be let go of, any memories that don't serve you anymore. Allow the breath to gently nudge them, unwind them, loosen them up from their corners, their nooks and crannies. Allow it to move through your chest and your abdomen. We're going to start at the crown and do a little chakra clearing. So we're going to bring that beautiful white light into the crown, the top of your head. Cleansing and clearing, refilling, shining that beautiful white light on everything that you are that's magnificent, which is you. You and your connection to whatever is beyond you, whatever is the highest vibration of love and light around you. And then bring that beautiful indigo light into your third eye. And allow it to cleanse and clear. Removes everybody else's stuck stuff from you. Filling this up and increasing your trust in your intuition. Increasing the intuitive, high vibration voice, however it comes to you. Sight, sound, knowing. But allow yourself to trust in that voice. And then the beautiful blue light. I use the blue light of like Larimar or Aquamarine. Maybe the sky on the beautiful bluest clear day. And bring that into your throat. Cleansing and clearing, opening and supporting your ability to speak and hear your authentic truth. Knowing that it's safe to speak and hear your authentic truth. And then down into your heart. That beautiful green, the green of grass, of the forest, the green of life, of plants. Coming into your heart, opening, cleansing, clearing, refilling. Knowing that you know how and that it's safe to love yourself. And through that love of self, loving others. And down to the solar plexus, the area at the diaphragm, between the diaphragm and the navel, below your ribs. That gorgeous, sunny, yellow, lemon light. Cleansing and clearing, opening and refilling. Your sense of self, your awareness of your own strength, your own will, your own magnificence, your own divinity. And just allow that beautiful yellow light to come in and expand. This is an infinite area, so much bigger than the physical space that it's centered in. And then down to your sacral chakra, the area between the hips, all your reproductive organs, your genitals. This is where, male or female, we birth our creativity. We create the person that we send out into the world to interact with others. We create our connection to our sensuality and our sexuality. And for so many of us, this is a stuck space or a limited space, because that creative, passionate, sensual aspect of us has a lot of power, and we tend to be afraid of it, or we're afraid other people are going to judge it. It's such a vulnerable area for us, how we express ourselves to the world. By cleansing and clearing, let's release all of that judgment, any shame, any guilt, any blame, any connections or interactions we've had with others that we've housed their judgment or our fear of their judgment in this sacred area. Let's let that go. Just in this space, you get to be who you are. Show yourself, to the world, whatever that looks like. And then we come down to the root, so the area below the pelvic floor, between the thighs, connecting all of you to everything that you experience, everything that is available to you, everything that allows you to move and expand through all the other chakras, through all of your life, your stability, your support, your anchoring. Let's allow that beautiful red, ruby red light to come in, cleanse and clear, expand and refill. And then we'll do a little grounding. So I want you to imagine you can do roots, you can do steel beams for the building you're constructing, you can do a ship's anchor, or whatever you visualize for grounding, for connecting to the earth, for creating that extended support and structure to allow you to grow even higher and wider, to expand even more. What I'm using now is these massive steel construction beams, 10 feet into the earth, and 10 more feet into the earth, and 10 more feet into the earth, and 10 more feet into the earth. and even further, anchoring you, not in limitation, but in magnificent construction, so that you can grow even more. And just allow those colors to move through your body, allow those energies to move through your body. Ask your body, your chakras, your guides, if there's any messages for you. And while you do that, I'm going to refill you. When you're ready, start to come back. I felt for everyone live on the call that I came and interacted with you individually, that I gave you each an individual treatment. And also anyone watching this later, that I could feel everyone getting an individual treatment. That was such a beautiful connection point. I hope that you got to experience that as well. So check in with your body. If you got any messages from your body, from your guides, from your energy, you might want to write them down if you got any visualizations that you want to keep track of. Yeah, it's always nice to have a meditation journal to write those things down. It's like getting your best thoughts in the shower. You want to have someplace around to record them. Okay, so like we've been doing the last few weeks, I've got some crystals in my hands. So if you received any images, we didn't talk about crystals during the meditation tonight, but if you received any images, then you have to see how they compare to what I had. So this was a big crystal day. I have a whole bunch in my hands, which are getting a little heavy. So in my right hand, I have a massive tree agate and lepidolite. Lepidolite is calming. It has aspects of lithium, which make it a wonderful relaxation stone. It's really beautiful for that. And then in my left hand, I have a massive zoisite, which usually comes with ruby. This one I don't think has much ruby, but again, it's very grounding, but it's also very heart chakra. So this is a beautiful stone. And then another lepidolite. So there we go. So hopefully you got grounding, heart-centered, peace and calm. And then I picked a couple cards. This deck is, I think I've used it with you before. This is the Crystal Spirits Oracle deck. So it has, each of the cards have a crystal on it, but then the book gives the energy and the information about the crystals. So I picked 3, and I went through and picked twice, and the same 3 cards came up. So, and this is one when I was working yesterday, came up. Green Adventuring. So let me look that one up. Kathleen, you're unmuted, so just so you know. So don't go start screaming or anything. Green Adventuring is luck, good fortune, potential, possibility, and new opportunities. Woohoo! That's for all of us for the new year. So again, luck, good fortune, potential, possibilities, and new opportunities. Possibilities for experiences your soul craves are everywhere, offering new opportunities to help you find your purpose. Nice. The next one is Aquamarine, which is really beautiful. It's one of my favorites. That one says, enhanced clarity, calm discernment, awareness, and acceptance of one's truth. So again, throat chakra stuff. So enhanced clarity, calm discernment, awareness, and acceptance of one's truth. More than ever, it's easy to get lost in a flood of information. While remaining focused and on task may be difficult when your senses are overstimulated, Aquamarine Spirit has appeared to tell you that you really do have what it takes to sort it all out and become clear as you make decisions. So that's a really beautiful one for all the distractions. And then the third one is Rhodonite. Okay. So that one actually reminds me of rhodochrosite, which is really good for healing old sexual traumas and sacral chakra stuff. So I would assume this is similar to that, but let's check and see. Let's check and see. Harmony in relationships, easily connecting with others, generosity, reciprocity, discovering hidden talents to share with others. So relationships help us reach our destiny and discover our purpose. People will come into our lives to be our angels on earth, offering love, encouragement, and resources for building the lives we want for ourselves. Now is the time to connect with others in the spirit of generosity, for Rhodonite's spirit is here to help you form healthy partnerships that benefit everyone. Nice. So, are you ready to allow the support in, the healthy partnerships, the people and situations that can bring you what you want and what you need and be partners with you? That's been challenging for a lot of us to trust and let down the walls and make those connections. So now is a beautiful time to take the next step into that. So let me show you one more time. The Rhodonite, Aquamarine, and Green Adventuring. Okay. So next week is our last week, and I'm hoping, well, I know it's divinely guided, but I overscheduled myself for Tuesday night. I actually scheduled a surprise trip for a friend of mine, and it's not anything I can change because there's tickets involved in it. So I would like to move our call to Monday night if possible. And if weather permits, I'm going to try to set up out by the fire pit. So might be really cool and exciting, and we can do some intention setting and burning and create some really beautiful magic with the fire. So I hope to see you there. I hope to share some new insights and information, and hope you got your refilling and you feel good and feel grounded and centered and whole and loved, because you are loved, and it's a beautiful time to allow yourself to receive it. So I am going to turn off the recording now. If those of you on the call want to stay and share anything, then we can do that. So hang on just a second.